Namaskar. We all are aware that maintaining silence is very important. Whether we are on path of spirituality or even otherwise in our daily life, at least once in 24 hours, each one of us becomes silent. And so therefore, importance of silence needs no emphasis. One of the important aspects of keeping silent is not speaking. The mind may work, but not speaking. We may say this is not silence. Yes, this is not classical silence. But it is a very important and an inevitable step to complete silence. What happens is when we go to sleep, the first thing is we stop talking, we don't talk. And also our mind becomes quiet. Once these two things happen, there is sleep. Till the time we keep talking, we cannot fall asleep and there cannot be silence. So there will be no rest. We have often seen or heard about those people who carry on their normal duties, normal day to day work, but remain silent. Now, and when they have to communicate something, they do it either by writing or by, say, by gestures. We would have heard such people did exist at some time. Even today they do. So we may argue that this is no silence. Yes, this is not a classical silence. But in cases where the, the daily activities have to be performed in a chattering world, noisy world, with noisy people around, with chattering people around, it becomes necessary for us to exercise certain constraints. And keeping quiet, keeping mum, not speaking, is one such step. There would be temptations to speak. There would be people around who would be constantly nudging us to utter something, to break our silence. We would realize that certain people around us are like a quiz machine. They keep quizzing, they keep asking questions and disturbing the peace of mind. They have nothing to do with the reply, but they have to ask a question. They have to disturb you, disturb your presence, your silence. So they do it. And there are a host of people with diverse qualities and each demanding breaking of silence. Second is our own urge to speak, our own desire to speak, whether it is required or not, our own desire to speak. This is to be controlled, and the best way to control is what the people used to do. They used to write down and communicate. They used to use gestures to communicate. The idea was to reduce the speech the instances where we have to speak. That was the idea. And once that is there, that is the first step to getting quiet. And also, it conserves a lot of energy in to be quiet and not to be speaking. A lot of energy is saved, and that energy can be channelized in something constructive. So I remember once Papaji had mentioned that there are four stages of speech. How our thought becomes a speech. There were four stages, in which first was para. Then this para stage is the stage where the thought is born. Thought is born, and that stage is the subtlest of all stages. Thereafter, it is taken cognizance of by the ego, that is the speaker, or the thinker, or the feeler, whatever we may like to call it. So he takes cognizance of that thought. Thereafter, the thought is to be given a language. It is to be put into certain signals, certain sounds, which are perceivable and make sense to the other person. And this is called putting it into a language. And the fourth stage is actually the words coming out of the mouth. These are the four stages. So if we are wanting to reduce our speaking time, reduce the speech, then the best way is to be very conscious and be very aware when the thought rises. That is the stage of para. Once it has risen and it has been recognized by us, by the speaker, so this speaker, who is doubling up as a seeker also, this speaker or the seeker, at this stage when it has taken cognizance, he asks his own self, should I be speaking or not? Without speaking, would I be able to manage or not? So if I am able to manage without speaking, without conversing, in my own wisdom, I feel it would be a worthwhile decision to resist the speech as far as possible. Reducing the spoken words is the best option, and this would be a preliminary step to having a quiet mind also. So this can be given a try. I have tried myself, and it is, of course, it does displease a lot of people. So if we are ready to pay that cost for silence, then only we have to attempt. If we are afraid of paying the right cost, then we don't deserve silence. We don't deserve to be walking on this path, because there will be so many people who will get offended. If this is okay with us, only then should we pursue this. Thank you.